Brilliant. Just come and sit up. As soon as you cross your legs, change to your non-habitual side. Have a little blanket underneath you for a little bit more kind of uplift, if that's helpful. Close your eyes. Hands gently placed on the top of the knees, thighs. Get a sense of the back body. I want you to just take a few breaths where you feel into your low back, mid back, upper back, and just have a feel around as to what is going on for you this morning. Maybe there's an immediate area that feels a little tight. But actually, what I want you to be more perceptive about today is any area that feels completely lost to you. Like it doesn't even register. And that's hard to find because of the nature of it. But actually, maybe what you do is you listen for the area that's making most noise, and then you kind of park that and just explore around it. As a comparison now, bring your full attention to the front body. Maybe the first thing you think about is how different the front of your body feels compared to the back body. Does it feel more tight? Does it feel more open? All these kind of sensations that might be moving through it. If you do a direct comparison between front and back body, which part, which side do you feel more connected to? And then I want you to identify the side you feel less connected to and move all your attention into it. Start to deepen your breaths if they weren't already going in that direction. Really slow now, really slow and steady. And these breaths are being specifically placed in the areas of either front or back body that feel a little lost. Sometimes the up level is making a connection to an area you just don't even bother paying attention to. That's going to be our theme today, our intent. Where are those lost bits? Because they're just as important. In fact, they're probably more important. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Feel it soften the belly, reach into side ribs, lift up into the space just at the top of the chest. And then as you exhale out, open the mouth, release the jaw. Very slowly open your eyes, come back to the room. Let's start in Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to do a round of Kapalabhati. So when you look at your feet, they're very actively pressed together, toes slightly retracting. Just take a few breaths here I always like to put my hands on my kind of thighs and give them a little kind of wiggle out. These hip flexors these are not shy, right? You know what's going on with them all the time. And the thing about working into areas that feel a little lost to you is that those are the areas that need to be charged up, right? So that these sorts of areas can finally go, okay, I can calm down. It's all right. There's a balance. Okay, hands behind you, chest open, press your fingers into the mat. Take a really big inhale through the nose and let everything kind of exhale out through the mouth. Inhale halfway through nose, Begin to pump forcefully out of the nostrils. And as you do that, you kind of flip the belly back in, kind of ping it in. So it's quite a kind of firm thrusting back of the belly as you press breath out of nostrils. As you do this and get distracted by it, notice that your chest might have softened. Pick it up. Elbows pressed towards each other. Remain connected to your feet. Let the hips go. Lift length through the front body and close your eyes. I want you to do the last 20 with eyes closed. Count it out in your head. When you've done those pumps, take a long breath in and a full sigh out. Move your hands forwards. They're either going to grab your ankles or place themselves, fingertips in front of the shin. Take an inhale. This is the point at which you really pull some length into the front of chest. As you exhale, feel you could see yourself from side on. Hinge forwards from the hips. Keep lengthening the chest up and away. So not doing anything fancy here. This is just a forward fold with a soft breath. Take a long inhale into your sacrum, low back. Feel it kind of widen, and as you exhale, hinge from that point forwards, let the belly soften. Stay here for a good few breaths and feel what changes. Part of the fascination of being in a pose for longer is what shifts. Maybe the initial areas that were kind of going, ooh, that's quite tight. Just move those to one side. What else can you feel? Everything happens in the last 1% of the pose. Press feet together, open the mouth, sigh it out. And then very slowly draw yourself up. Take your hands to outside edge of your thighs, draw your own knees together. Let's come into knee pile. Okay, so pick up your left leg and hook it on top of your right leg. Full knee pile. If this is not, it's a little too much, you can always do half knee pile, extending the bottom leg. I like to kind of grab both bottom cheeks and kind of pull them out a little bit. I want to feel like my sit bones are really down and connected to the mat. Edges of feet active. Let's do eagle arms. We're going to do full Garudasana this morning. Wrap your left arm on top of right arm, and then either place the backs of the hands together or do a little double wrap so your hands overlap. It's really tempting to start with the elbows down. We're going to lift those elbows up just below chin height. Now take a long inhale into back body. Feel the uplift through crown of head. Draw your shoulders back, slide them down, wrap from the underside forwards, and then press your forearms away from your face. So start to lever them forwards. That really kind of pulls at the fascia, the connective tissue that wraps around the upper back. You need a little support from the ground up. Press more into sit bones. Feel the edges of the feet or the back of the leg push downwards. And then grow yourself up with your breath. Feel for sliding the shoulder blades around the underside of armpits and maybe casually dipping your forehead towards your bicep. Close your eyes, take one more long, slow breath in. I want you to really notice areas in the body which feel a little disconnected. You'll have to scan for them. Maybe it's the diaphragm. Can you feel that? Front area of the solar plexus. Open the mouth side out. Release, come out of this. Stay in knee pile, very exciting. Let's do a side bend. Bring your right hand to side of hip. Push particularly down through the left bottom cheek. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Spread a little more space into armpit and a little lassoing across. Enjoy the side bend for what it is, a super delicious opening into the side body. Let the head go. When you take your next inhale, I want you to imagine that you can actually feel the ribs moving apart from each other. Like a slinky opening itself up. Intercostal muscles get tight, they get, constricted, they can be stretched. And then very slowly use your left hand to float you all the way back up. Don't rush it, keep the neck soft, draw it to center. Let's do a twist here. Both arms are going to reach. Turn the whole torso towards the left. Brace right arm on top of left knee. Bring your left hand behind you. Push into the fingertips. Take a long breath in. Feel the uplift as you exhale. Left shoulder blade draws around behind you, but your gaze is just out of the front of chest, no neck. Got 3 more breaths. What will you do with them? How much connection can you make into the front of your solar plexus as you breathe? Because a lot of other things are giving you feedback. Maybe if you direct more attention to your core, front of body, you can support yourself. Take the pressure off the other areas. Come out of it really slowly. Take legs out in front of you. Super shake. Let's do all of that with the other leg on top. So pick up your right leg, hook it on top of your either extended left leg or full knee palm. Get your bottom cheeks pressing downwards, edges of feet really active. Garudasana, eagle, full eagle. Take the arms forward, wrap your right arm on top of left, double wrap. Lift the elbows to below chin height. Draw an inhale through the back body as you slide shoulders back, down. They wrap forwards and you press the forearms away from you. Pick up some more space between the belly button and the pubic bone. Lift. Keep pressing down through the shoulders and wrapping them forwards. Maybe you slightly lower your forehead towards your biceps. A bit of a neck stretch. But most importantly, get listening. And there's a lot of bandwidth, right? There's a lot of frequency and chat coming from all sorts of areas. Maybe you can find the area that's a little less vocal and breathe into that. And this is really sort of quite advanced stuff, just trying to find bits that aren't obvious. So if you're struggling with it, don't worry. It's just a work in progress. Release the arms. Let's do a side bend. Bring your left hand to side of hip. Inhale, reach the right arm straight up. Pause a moment. Push down through your bottom cheek. Lift some space. Everything softens as you bend. Feel for wrapping the top arm. The supporting left elbow bends. Shoulder slides away from ear. Bring your full attention to what you're trying to do. Sometimes it's as basic as that. This is a side bend. Bend into your side body. Take a little breath here and lengthen the space between your right hip and the underside of your right ribs, right in the waistline. That bit gets tight too. Inhaling, float your right arm up, come up slowly, don't rush, no need to rush. Twist, both arms reach, inhale, get some length. Turn your whole torso to the right. Left arm braces on top of the knee, bring your right hand behind you. Take a lengthening breath, lift up. Feel for space in the spine and then exhale, twist a little deeper. Don't use your neck. Press down through the edges of the feet wherever they are. Feel connected to the front of your body. And as you exhale, just soften the right shoulder blade down behind you. Flubber out the lips. Come out of this really slowly. Both legs come out in front of you. Shaky, shake. Okay, let's lie down. Let's do abdominals. I'd actually like you to grab a block. We're going to do some Jambo abs, as I call them. Jambo does a lot of very unusual ab work, and he spends a lot of time doing it if you ever do one of his classes. But this is a good one. It looks really simple. It just has a good effect down in the low belly. So you're going to take the block in your right hand and hold on to it, maybe with the fingers tracking up the middle, thumb and little finger grabbing the block. And diagonally reach across your body and push this block into your left front of thigh. I'm going to use the head and neck for this, so the left arm can be gently placed on the mat. Take a really big inhale and pick up your left foot off the floor, stacking left knee over left hip. You're still pushing that block into thigh. Hold the breath. Pull down through your low back, flattening the sacrum. As you exhale, push hand into block, thigh into block, and pull down through the low belly. Do not use your neck. Inhale, soften off the press. Let the low belly relax. Foot is still stacked. Exhale, pull down through the low belly, push hand into block, block into thigh and back again. So the thigh is also pushing into block. Pull down through the low belly. Really feel it. This is a long exhale. Inhale, release off, soften everything. Knees stacked over hip. Hold the breath. Flatten sacrum to mat. As you exhale, push hand into block, block back into hand, thigh is active, pull down through the low belly. Release, left foot goes down, place the block in the left hand. Right arm casually to side of body, put the block on the right thigh, pick up the foot. So right knee stacked over right hip, take an inhale. Hold the breath, flatten your sacrum to the mat. As you exhale, push left hand into block, right thigh back into block, pull down through the low belly. I want to really notice the area of the abdominals above pubic bone. Release. Big breath in. Hold the breath, flatten low back. As you exhale, push hand into block, block back into thigh, etc., etc. But mainly pull down through the low belly. Particularly feel maybe the right side of your abdominals turn on. Inhale, release off. Hold the breath, flatten low back. As you exhale, push hand firmly into block, block back into hand. Pull down through the low belly, completely flatten it. It's really intense. I want you to notice what goes on when those deep abdominals have to do something. And then release everything off. Take the block to one side. Put your hands on your low belly. I really hope you felt that. It's really slightly different. It's like it gets to another layer. And those are the layers that I'm interested in. Why don't we ever get to those layers? They like to hide out. Let's do elbow to knee moving into Brolga. Interlace hands, place behind the base of the head. Pick up your feet off the floor, knees stacked over hips. Feet are active. Take an inhale, lift head and shoulders. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone, flattening low back. Exhale, reach elbows to left thigh. Extend the right foot out 45 degrees. Pull through, lifting up through the shoulders. Feel that low belly area you just connected to. It's right there. It's right there for the taking. Inhale back to center, full breath. Hold breath, curl tailbone, exhale, elbows to right thigh, left foot extends. Lengthen the left thigh, pull down through the low belly, particularly the area just near the left inner hip crest. Inhale, back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone, exhale, elbows to left thigh. This time, right leg goes straight up to ceiling. Press through the ball of the foot, wrap elbows, pull belly down. Take an additional inhale, release your left hand, grab your left ankle foot, plug it to inner right thigh, hold it there. As you exhale, traction the right thigh up, pushing foot into thigh and back again. Either both hands behind the head or one still on the foot, pull belly down. Inhale, everything back to center, knees stacked. Hold breath, curl tailbone, exhale, elbows to right thigh, left leg goes straight up. Pick up both shoulder blades, pull down through the low belly. Inhale, right hand releases, grabs right foot, push it to inner left thigh. Hold it there. Exhale, lift up through the left tricep. Maybe you can reset both hands behind the head. That is optional, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center. We'll do one more round. Hold breath. Curl tailbone, flattening low back. Exhale, elbows to left thigh. Right foot goes straight up. Press through the ball of the foot. Lift the shoulder blades off the mat. Inhale, left hand grabs left foot. Push it to inner right thigh. Make a firm connection. Exhale, traction right thigh up. Lift both tips of elbows, but most importantly, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, full breath. Hold breath, curl tailbone, exhale, elbows to right thigh, left leg goes straight up. Pick up the right shoulder blade, press down through those unexplored areas of abs. Inhale, right hand grabs right foot, plug it to inner thigh, traction the two upwards, reach through the elbow, particularly the left elbow, and pull belly down. Knees bend, feet come down, head and shoulders come down. Come back into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Put your hands on the low abdominal area. Take a full inhale into maybe little chinks of abdominals that you didn't really know you had. Take your hands to outside edge of thighs, draw them together. You will need a block again, or if you've got a proper roll, that might be a little nicer, to place between your inner thighs. We're going to do bridge with a roll or block. So have a prop to squeeze onto. Make sure it's actually the inner thigh muscle doing the squeezing. It's not just, when you squeeze onto a prop, it's not just pushing the bones of the thighs together, right? It's not just a pincer movement. It's an actual, it's like the inner thigh muscle turns on and it rolls itself internally onto the prop. It's really different. Stroke the backs of your heels. Arms reset to side of body. Before we even begin, feel like you engage inner thigh muscles and they kind of roll onto the prop. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift your hips. When you get up there, sometimes you need to adjust the prop. It feels like it's not quite in the right position. You might need to do that. Push through your feet and enjoy the prop. It's a support, right? It reminds you to turn on your inner thighs, which are helpful. As you squeeze the block or the roll, lift your hips 1 centimeter higher. Engage the underside of your glutes. Take a vast breath through the front line of your body, the area that might feel a little disconnected in bridge. Because it all gets busy, you know, shoulders, legs, those sort of feel like they take the brunt of it. Take an inhale and lift length into your diaphragm. Press again through active feet, maybe really focusing on pushing all 4 corners into the mat and slightly lifting toes up. Drill energy down the front line of your thighs, quad muscles engage. Imagine there's a piece of string attached to your sternum. Every time you inhale, it gets pulled directly up to ceiling. Notice that in your peripheral vision. Try to soften your shoulders. They're weight bearing, but they don't need to hunch up to ears. It's a real difference. Palms of the hands are soft, but you're aware of your fingertips. Take 3 more breaths, squeezing onto the roll or the block. Lift the butt 1 centimeter higher. Engage a full connection to your bum. Soft lines, breath out, of course. This is your last breath. Take it in. Feel the expansiveness of this pose. Slowly. Inhale, tuck tailbone. Exhale, lower top back, mid back, low back, all the way to floor. When you get down there, feel the flatness of your sacrum pressing into mat. Just take a breath. It's almost like I love it when you come down from bridge. I feel like I've suddenly got a full connection to my back body. And that's interesting, right? It's just interesting to join all the dots up. Like before you had missing pieces and suddenly that little puzzle piece appears. Move prop from inner thighs. Roll onto one side slowly, press up. Let's come into dolphin. We're going to do 10 breaths in dolphin. And it's all plain vanilla dolphin. Let's just feel what's going on there. And as you do this dolphin, I want you to imagine that the prop is still between your inner thighs. So bring your forearms down, grab a handful of bicep, pivot on elbow tips. Forearms come directly out, hands are active. Take an inhale, dome into upper back, wrap it out. Curl toes, straighten the legs. Walk your feet in a little tighter, push the floor away from you by lifting the sit bones up and engaging underside of armpit. Neck is relaxed. Shake out the head. Okay. So just look at your feet and push through them a little more. Squeeze your inner thigh muscles on. There's no roll or block, but you can imagine it. And notice what that does to the lift through your butt. Now we're just going to do 5 more breaths here and just really notice. When you get to your edge in your pose, it's really fascinating what collapses first. Let's notice everything and see if we can adjust, small adjustments. Here's your best option though. Slow your breath down and stay with it. As soon as you get distracted or a little bit flustered, your breath wanders off. Don't let it do that. Kind of move into a meditative state, even though everything's beginning to kind of, get a little lively. One more breath, push into the floor, feel the underside of your arms dent the mat. Open your mouth side out. And then very casually, like that wasn't anything at all for you, lower knees to mat, and come and sit up in Vajrasana. Let's do single bird wing. Okay. Take your left hand and slide it into your armpit and then super glue your right bicep onto it, like you're squashing your hand against the ribs. Palms up, take an inhale. As you exhale, roll the thumb outwards and notice that as you do this, there is a pressure on your fingers, pushing them to ribs. Inhale, come back. Neck is relaxed. Exhale, roll out. Really feel, especially right at the edge there, right at the last little bit, that you're still pressing onto the ribs. Inhale, come back. Exhale, roll out. Push through, feel the connection. Muscles engage on the sort of top of the ribs. Release. Roll it out. Let's do the other side. Right hand there, press the arm. So there's a definite kind of squashing of fingers. Inhale. So exhale, roll, thumb out, squeeze on top. So this is what's fascinating about doing this. I feel like I'm much less connected, and this is my right side. It's not your right side, it's your left. Inhale. So notice a difference between the sides. I feel like I just can't quite get it to do what I want it to do on one side. Exhale, roll out. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe you didn't have that. That's okay. Okay, let's do turbo dog. So those muscles you just felt activating, let's feel them, do their stuff. Hands slightly forward of shoulders, bend the elbows, they hover just above the floor, at which point I want you to feel like you scoop up. It's like you wrap those elbows around your imaginary beach ball, curl the toes, straighten the legs. Imagine you're still bird winging it out and you feel those armpit muscles rev up. Lift your butt, shake out the head, yes, no. Still an imaginary prop between the inner thighs. Squeeze onto it, turn your feet on a little more, push them into the mat. All these little things help. Right, abs, remember those? Suck up through your Uddiyana Bandha, suck it in. But most importantly, keep pressing those elbows together. 2 more breaths. Feel the fingertips grab the mat. Straighten your arms, you're in down dog. Start to pedal out the feet, alternating one heel to mat, coming onto tippy toe of other. Walk feet forwards, Uttanasana, deep forward fold, soften the knees. Just hang down a moment, lengthening the front of the belly. Do a little shuffle out, like get that sacrum loosened off, and then just forward fold, hang down. Grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, immediately swap, little sway side to side. What feels disconnected as you hang down? You should be feeling like your feet are pretty active, back of the head soft. Take a breath into your sacrum. And then release the hands, soften the knees, and roll up to standing all the way. Before we do suns, let's just do a straddle forward fold with a nice twist. You'll need a block to put your hands on it. It helps with sort of alignment through the back body. So you'll be straddling. That means that you're about 3 feet apart with the legs, pigeon toes, hands on hips. Have the block, here's the block, directly sort of in the middle of your legs on the mat. Take a really big inhale, lift the chest, come down with a flat back. You're going to get to halfway. So I want you to feel like you lift the chest and extend the arms to side of body, palms down. You're looking at the floor, but your fingertips are reaching to side of room. Push through your active feet and squeeze your sit bones together. Notice that. Take an inhale, lift the arms up, squeeze shoulder blades together. And then slowly float your hands down. Get the cork block directly underneath your face. Put your left hand on it. Use this, press back into the left hand and lift your chest again, lengthening through the crown of the head. Take an inhale, float your right arm up above you, but you're still gazing at your left hand. Your sacrum is really stable and flat. There's a cup of tea on a saucer on it. So the twist, if any twist is there, comes from the mid-thoracic spine. Take an inhale again, crown of head reaches. You need your length as you exhale. Move your right hand a little more up towards the ceiling. Feel the underside of the right shoulder blade squeeze towards the spine. And then slowly lower the right hand down. Place the right hand on the block. Look at it. Inhale, crown of head lengthens. Feel it. Actually, really interesting. Put your left hand a moment on your solar plexus. Take an inhale and feel it lengthen. Ooh, that's quite cool. I like that. Inhale, and then reach this left arm up, spreading the fingers. Don't lose that unfurl in the solar plexus. It's amazing how we go back into it. Take another breath. Open, and then as you exhale, draw the left hand higher, twisting through upper mid-back. Shake out the head, yes, no. Float the left hand down. Move the block, bend the knees. Put your hands on your hips, come all the way up to standing. Heel toe your feet back together. Come and stand at front of mat for sun salutations. You will need a strap and a block near the front of the mat. Any additional padding you might need for knees, you can get that as well. Tadasana, mountain pose. Stand upright, open your hands to side of body. Take a long telescoping inhale and reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold, hang down. Lunge, left leg behind, knee to mat. Inhale, feel for space in the front body. Exhale, plank, hands down, step back. Hands are active, push into them, scoop the belly. As you exhale, knees lower, modified chaturanga, chest lowers. Inhale, low cobra, hands forward, shoulders, scoop it out. Exhale, down dog. Left leg lunges forward, right knee down. Take a breath, lift up out of your front right hip. Exhale, float to forward fold. Press through active feet, come up to standing, inhaling all the way. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go again, right side, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, hang down. Right leg lunges back, knee to mat. Take a long breath here. Really notice the top of your right foot pressing into the mat. Plank, hands down, step back. Take a breath, push the floor away, scoop up through the belly. Knees lower, tuck tailbone, chest lowers all the way down. One smooth line. Inhale, low cobra. Become aware of your legs in low cobra. They're very useful. Lengthen them. Exhale, draw length through the belly, reset, down dog. Right leg lunges forward, left knee down. Take a long inhale, feel for pressing left foot to mat. Exhale, float to forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go again, inhale. More connection to end points. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head soften. Left leg lunges behind you, knee down. As you inhale, reach through the fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, plank, step back. Take a breath here, push the mat away, scoop the tailbone. Exhale, knees lower, chest lowers slowly, grazing ribs to bicep. Inhale, low cobra. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feel the tops of your feet connect to the mat. Exhale, drag length through the belly. Reset. Down dog. Left leg lunges forward, right knee down. Take a breath. Inhale. Squeeze your right glute on, tuck underneath yourself. Exhale, float to forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Right side, inhale, lift and lengthen through the side body. Exhale, forward fold, let the jaw go. Right leg lunges back, knee to mat. Inhale, lift up out of the front right hip. Squeeze your right glute on. Plank, step back. Take a breath in plank, push the floor away, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, knees lower, chest lowers all the way down. Inhale, low cobra, lift and lengthen. Exhale, down dog. Step right foot to front of mat, low lunge. Inhale, reach up through your fingertips, lift space into belly. Exhale, float to forward fold. Come all the way up to standing, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths here, just feeling. Let's start with this. Feel the difference between the front body and the back body, just as you stand here. What feels more alive? What feels a little lost? What feels like it's warmed itself up? Release the hands. Okay, let's do vignettes. Come into chair pose. Inhale, sink the butt low. Exhale, deep forward fold. Hinge forwards, let the head hang. Halfway lift, hands on shins or mat, lengthen through the back body. Step or hop into plank. Take an additional breath in plank. Push the floor away, dome into upper back, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, you have options. Knees can lower or you come to hover. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot to front of mat for warrior two, foot position. Come all the way up. Come into a reverse warrior. Take an inhale, reach the right arm straight up to ceiling and lift some length, but cartwheel the arm to the back right thigh. Deepen your left knee bend and pick up a little space in the hip as you lean into side bend to the right. Your left hand is going to float up, wrap, and you're going to reach across. So think about this, loads of different kind of pulls in different directions. I'd like you to pick up the right hand and place it on the left side ribs, gently. Take an inhale, lift your left ribs away from the hip. So you do your own traction and you lengthen through the armpit area. Do that again for one more breath. Inhale. Feel the expansion, feel the reach, and then sink a little deeper into left knee bend. Let the head soften. You can reset this right arm to thigh now. One more breath. Everything gets a little complex in the last bit of the pose, but that's also where it gets really interesting. Just take my word for it. Take an inhale, float gently, left arm back across yourself to lift yourself up. Still in warrior two, we're going to do archer. You're going to take this left arm now and reach it up. It's already been stretched this side of the body. So I want you to lift up and place your left hand now down the center of the back. Take a bind with your right hand. This is where the strap, totally useful. Make the connection with the strap or use your hands or grab your t-shirt and then get a little more connected with your lower body. Press through the feet. Take an inhale, wrap the left tricep, pick up some space in the armpit and lift your tip of elbow higher. As you exhale, very consciously slide the right shoulder blade down away from here. Make sure you're not crushing the back of your head. Take a spacious breath into upper back ribs. Got two more breaths here. I want you to do them slow and steady. Don't lose the breath. Remember, the breath is like this little love notes you give to yourself. Totally vital. Release, come out of this. Hands frame the front left foot, step back into plank, take a breath. Scoop belly, tuck tailbone as you exhale, knees lower, chest lowers all the way down. Lie on your tummy. You're going to do boat pose, regular boat pose. Take your hands behind you and clasp them near the butt. Look down at the mat. Take a very definitive inhale and tuck your pubic bone to belly button. So you lift your belly button up away from the floor.
As you exhale, lift your feet, lift your chest, lengthen your clasped hands towards your tailbone. Gaze is still at the mat. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, balloon space into upper back area. As you exhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, but make connection to inner line of legs. Lengthen. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, squeeze your shoulders towards each other. Release down. Hands under shoulders, curl the toes, step back into down dog. Take a couple of breaths in down dog. Turbo dog is an option. You can bend the elbows, pull elbows towards each other. Let the head hang. Remember to connect to the inner thigh muscles, whatever you're doing, down dog or turbo dog, it's helpful. Straighten arms, we're all in down dog. Step right foot to front of mat, warrior 2 foot position, moving into reverse warrior. Feet really active. Take an inhale, reach the left arm up, cartwheel it to the back left thigh. Press a little more firmly through this tractioning right thigh forwards. And then inhale, your right arm reaches up. There's a sort of wrap and it's a side bend. So it's like you feel this extension in the right side ribs. Let the head go. Take your left hand. First of all, lifting your left hand off the back leg means you have to knit your core together. Place your left hand on your right side ribs really gently. I want you to just feel this. Take an inhale and lift your ribs away from the hip. Ooh, I just find it always amazing how much space there is there. It makes it a little complex to breathe. You feel a little bound up. Find some nooks and crannies in the low lobes of your lungs. You can let the left hand drape back to the thigh. Neck is relaxed. Take an inhale, float right arm up, straighten torso. Deepen the right knee bend, archer. Take an inhale, right arm reaches. It's already had a bit of a stretch, but let's place the hand to center of shoulder blade. Left arm behind, grab fingers, grab strap, grab clothing. Try not to push on the back of your head. Remember that beautiful area in the solar plexus. Take an inhale and lengthen it. Lift your chest. As you exhale, feel for sliding your left shoulder blade down the back body. Use your legs more. Press more deeply through right thigh. Outside edge of left foot, push it into mat. One more breath. What comes up for you when it gets a little frazzled? Release. Frame the right foot, step back into plank. Take a breath. Push the floor away, scoop the belly up, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, slowly, listen up, I'm going to do this really slowly. Lower your knees and hover them about 1 centimeter off the floor. So you think you're about to do modified chaturanga, but you're not. Now get the belly engaged, suck it up. I want you to really feel the scoop up of your belly area. There it is, it's super intense. Now as you exhale, let the knees come down, slowly with control, modified chaturanga. Hands slightly forward of shoulders, inhale, low cobra. Squeeze shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Exhale, drag length through the front body. Reset, down dog. Take 3 breaths in down dog. Shake out the head, yes, no, feel for lifting up through the sit bones. And then slowly lower your knees to the mat. I'm going to do dolphin strut. Okay, so we're a little bit more warmed up for this now. We've had a bit of shoulder activity.
Dolphin strut. You're obviously taking one arm off and grabbing the back leg. I want you to think about, well, every time you go upside down, things go offline. We get a little kind of, really think about your core and your inner thighs. Let's have those two things as a focus. So if you know what you're doing, come with me. A quick demo, you'll be in dolphin. Take the feet a little wide on the mat. Try to get the outside edge of one foot flat to mat, at which point you'll release a hand, grab ankle. Maybe it's the calf, maybe it's the thigh, right? And you're gonna pull, brace yourself on that. Your butt goes up, shake out the head. This is dolphin strut. You don't need to do anything else. Take 3 to 5 breaths here. If you'd like to up level, you will slowly, don't ever rush it. It causes a lot of imbalance. A leg up, right? Those are your options. Let's all do it together. Bring forearms down to mat. Don't forget the measure up. Grab top of bicep. Pivot on your elbow tips. Hands really active. You can't do hands clasped here. Take an inhale, press into upper back. Curl toes, straighten legs. Just take a breath in dolphin and reacclimatize yourself with it. Get connected to your core, even though you're upside down. Scoop it in towards you and feel your inner thighs. Walk your feet a little wider on the mat. Take the left foot, turn the toes outwards and see if you can get your left heel closer to the floor. It might not get there, that's okay. Visualize your right forearm, push a lot of weight through it. Lift up through the right armpit, release your left hand and grab left ankle, calf, thigh, and pull on that connection to hike your butt up. Take a breath slowly into the belly. Shake out the head. If you'd like to up level, inhale, slowly raise the right leg up. Feel for lifting through the big toe side of right foot, engaging inner line of leg. And then very slowly, if the leg was lifted, you take it down. It's a wobbly ride down if you're too quick. And then reset arms. Come down onto your knees a moment. Just sit up in Vajrasana. Turn your palms face up at the top of your thighs. And I just want you to really feel the shoulders roll back and down. And you're super upright here, stacking base of head right over your tailbone. Just take a breath in and a breath out. What is speaking loudest in your body? And what areas still feel a little muted? So I can feel my right shoulder, right pec. Feel a lot of stuff on the right side of body. Come out of this slowly. Let's do the other side. Forearms down, grab a handful of bicep, pivot. Take a breath in, scoop up through the belly, tuck tailbone, and straighten the legs. Dolphin, plain vanilla dolphin, never felt so good. Walk your feet a little wider. Take the right foot at a 45-degree angle. See if you can get the heel a little closer to mat. Push through your left forearm a lot. Release the right hand, grab ankle, calf, thigh. Pull on that connection to lift your tailbone. Stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, wrapping the left shoulder underneath the armpit. Maybe you take the left leg up slowly, steadily, reaching through the big toe side. When you get the leg up, lift your low ribs up to ceiling. Slowly, no rush. You can lower the leg if it was lifted. Reset forearm, lower knees. Hands to mat, step into down dog. Pedal out the feet in down dog, pressing through backs of legs. Second vignette, step your left foot to front of mat for warrior two again. Back in warrior two.
Deepen the left knee bend. Feel for outside edge of right foot pressing into mat. Let's do unlocking the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to pick up the left forearm and have it, elbow stacked directly opposite shoulder. Take your right thumb and delve it deep into your armpits. You can feel muscle and wrap fingers around the shoulder blade. Take an inhale, draw shoulder back, down, wrap it forwards, pressing the forearm away from your torso. Deepen your left knee bend. Do this one again. Inhale, draw back, down, wrap, press away. Neck stays soft. Release the right hand. Grab a handful of your left bicep. If you've ever dislocated your shoulder, do stage 1 again. Inhale, shoulder back, down. This time as the elbow moves forward, pull on your bicep and feel like you're lengthening the arm out of the socket. Release, right hand to inner edge of left elbow. Inhale, draw shoulders back, down, wrap. We can all do this one together. Push hand into elbow, elbow into hand. Slightly tilt your left palm at a diagonal away from you. Oh, that's kind of really sparkly. Please roll it out. So all I feel now is that left shoulder. Let's do the right shoulder. We're still in this warrior 2 position. I know, keep these legs firing up. Take your left thumb deep into armpit, wrap it round. Elbow level with shoulder. Inhale, draw shoulder back, down. Feel the muscle wrap around underside, push forearm forwards. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, draw back, down. Wrap it forwards, press the forearm away. Feel something liven up where your hand is. Release. Grab bicep with left hand. Skip this if you've ever dislocated your shoulder here. Inhale, shoulder back, down. As you exhale, pull your bicep forwards out of the socket slightly and feel for opening space around shoulder blade. Left hand to inner right elbow. Deepen your left knee bend. Take an inhale, draw shoulder back, down. Wrap it forwards, push hand into elbow, elbow into hand, really firmly, pecs turn on. Now slightly angle your right hand away from the midline, still pressing on the palm. Oh, that's toughy tough. Release, roll it out. Ostrich, take your arms behind you, interlace, open the chest. Oh, shoulders feel a bit new, that's nice. As you exhale, hinge forward, straight down center line of your warrior 2 legs. Hang here, lifting arms straight up to ceiling. Shake out the head, yes, no. Deepen the left knee bend. I know these legs are taking a, they're really doing the heavy lifting. Feel like the head of the shoulders are picked up away from the floor as you lengthen your arms to ceiling. Shake out the head, yes, no. Arms release. Walk hands to frame the front left foot. Step back into plank. Take a breath. Scoop the belly up, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, knees lower, chest lowers all the way down to mat. Lie on your tummy, boat pose with shoulder shrugs. Take your arms to side of body in goddess. Feel your gaze looking down at the mat. Take an inhale, tuck pubic bone to belly button, scooping the belly button up. As you exhale, lift your feet, lift your chest, lift your arms and hands off the floor. Pause. Take another breath. Inhale. Balloon into upper back. As you exhale, squeeze shoulder blades together. Elbows kind of draw towards each other, lengthen through inner line of legs. 2 more. Inhale, big breath into upper back. Exhale, shoulder blades squeeze together, lengthen through the big toe side of both feet. Inhale, balloon into upper back. This is it. Exhale, draw shoulder blades back, squeeze elbows towards each other, lengthen the legs. And release, come down. A little pause here, hands under forehead or cheek. Rest down, close your eyes. Notice the full connection and sort of energy that's now racing around the upper back area. And then reset hands under shoulders, step back into down dog. Step right foot to front of mat, warrior two. Deepen the right knee bend, feel for pressing through the front right thigh. Notice when you glance down, you should just be able to see your right toe poking out the inner edge of the right knee. If your knee is rocking inwards, which it can do if you roll onto your arches, that's not great, right? Press it outwards. Double unlocking the shoulders, pick both elbows up, they face each other. And I want you to make sure that you're not doing this. It's very much this. Elbows, that's the bit that feels kind of hard, pulling the elbows towards each other. There's an imaginary block there. Inhale, draw shoulders back. Exhale, they go down, they wrap forwards, and you press elbows towards each other really firmly. 3 more times. Inhale, draw shoulders back, down, wrap. As you exhale, press the elbows together. Feel for spreading the fingers actively apart from each other. Next, stay soft. It's a toughie. Inhale, draw shoulders back. Deepen the right knee bend. Shoulders go down. Wrap forwards. Press elbows really firmly together. If anything, slightly tip your hands at a V shape away. Last one. Inhale, draw back. Make sure the shoulders go down. Wrap from underside forward. Push elbows together. Squeeze elbows towards each other, slightly V'ing out the hands. And then release. Roll it out. God, that's so much effort. Doesn't look like anything. Interlace. Do the opposite interlace behind you. Spread your chest with a big breath. Lengthen into solar plexus. As you exhale, come down with a long, flat back. When you get to about halfway, press a little deeper through the right knee bend, and then let yourself hang down. Rinse out the shoulders as if they needed it by lifting the head of the shoulder up, raising hands to ceiling. Soften your breath into right hip socket. It'll be kind of clamoring a little bit. What about the areas that have numbed out for you? What about the inner left thigh muscles? Squeeze that on. What about your glutes? Squeeze your sit bones together. You can do that hanging down. It has a really cool effect. Shake up the head, yes, no. Release the hands. Walk to frame right foot. Step back into down dog. Take a really big breath in down dog. Lift the butt up to ceiling. And then slowly lower down. Okay. Couple of options. Malasana, let's just do yogi squat, and then we're going to move into Bakasana, crow pose. So come up on your feet and squat down. So options here, your heels can be up off the floor, that's fine, right? If you've got, what's really useful is a flat block, or you can have a cork block. To place between you, you can put your heels on the block. That feels quite nice. It could be a cork block. The main thing that happens here, obviously this is a hip thing, but people tend to sag through the middle. And the really tough bit is trying to lift your back into length and lift your chest. Elbows press the knees apart, hands in prayer. If you're open enough, your feet might be flat on the floor. But honestly, it's not a natural position for a lot of us. So just don't use the props. I'm just going to take 5 breaths here. I just want you to let the hips get over themselves. Feel for lifting space into the front of the belly, even though it's so much nicer to curl in on yourself. Lift up. Every inhale, a spreading and an opening. 2 more breaths.
Knees wide apart, pressing into inner thigh with your elbows. And then release, come out of this. Bakasana, you're kind of perfectly warmed up now in the hips for this. I suggest a block just to get the butt a little higher. So approach Bakasana with a little difference here. Here's the two things I want you to think about in Bakasana. The only things I want you to really focus on once you get upside down. Pulling your core in and activating your toes. I want you to feel like your toes are like electrocuted with energy. It makes a really big difference. Okay, I'll show you. So hands come down, they're spread pretty much the width of the mat, very active. You will be lifting your butt up and getting sort of your center of gravity to hinge forwards. Now look, there is a kind of rocking forwards. You need to bend the elbows, pull in for your turbo dog. Chaturanga arms, your knees stick to the back of your triceps and you rock forwards. Already here, I want you to think about your belly. Scoop it up. Then as you pick a foot up, maybe 2 feet, squeeze through your toes, activate them, spread them apart. It's hard to talk upside down, that's for sure. Have a go. I know crow is not everyone's favorite. Gemma's wisely doing something else. It's fine. Feel your feet, feel your belly, just for the moment that you hinge forwards. Activate your feet, Melissa. I can see them there. They looked a little limp. It's really funny. You just can't think about stuff that's on the end points. Like make it the only thing you think about, how spread and powerful your toes feel. Nice, Claire. And remember this, right? Even if your Bakasana is just doing this and kind of thinking about it, that's all good practice, right? That's how you get your muscles and you get this sort of connection to the sequencing of the pose. Okay, come out of it, everyone. Let's come into down dog. Take a breath in down dog. Feel for lifting the sit bones up. Let's do turbo dog just for a final fling. Bend the elbows, wrap elbows towards each other. Hover, feel for squeezing your elbows together and lifting the butt. 3 more breaths in turbo dog. Shake out the head, yes, no. The more turbo dogs you do, the lighter you can get in your Bakasana. 1 more breath. Straighten the arms, lower knees to mat. Okay. Let's end as we started, so to speak. Let's come into knee pile. I'm going to just do a little forward fold in knee pile. So take your left knee and hook it on top of your right knee. If you'd like to have the bottom leg extended, that's completely fine. So first of all, I just want you to notice, I don't know, if this feels a little more accessible. Bring your hands slightly forward of your hips. Take a long breath in, lift the chest. Feel this space here grow. And then kind of deposit yourself forwards with your fingertips walking away from you. Edges of the feet active. Press your sit bones into the mat. But most importantly, just listen to your breath. Take a long inhale. Feel it move through the side ribs. As you exhale, let the belly soften towards the knee area. Let the head hang. Shoulders relax. Neck is soft. Belly is soft. Take it all in as you breathe into your outside edge of left hip.
What happens in the last 1% of this forward fold? Where can you finally kind of slide off a layer of tightness? Inhale, press yourself all the way back up. Take your legs out in front of you, unravel them, give them a shake. Let's do the other side. Pick up your right leg, hook it on top of left knee. Double knee pile if that's available. Sit bones pressing downwards. Just take a breath or two here to feel into your alignment. Get some additional length right where you think you don't need it, but you do need it. Hands forwards. So it's a soft cajoling. These forward folds they're like a persuasive passage way through. Keep inhaling length all the time. Every inhale, a reset. As you exhale, forward fold, just feel into all the kind of dark corners. Let the back lengthen with every breath in. And as you exhale, soften the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, belly. As you come deeper, your outside edge of left hip will be a little vocal. It's okay. Let the head soften, back of the neck releases. Allow yourself to move deeper into the pose. And then gently press yourself all the way up. Legs out in front of you, give them a shake. Let's lie down for Shavasana. Get yourself some layers of clothing, get comfortable with props that you need, but move the ones you don't need away. Legs up the wall, a really nice option for down regulating. Whatever you choose to do, we worked into those shoulders a little today. Give them a little shuffle out. Have the legs wide on the mat if you're lying down. Feel for softness around the pelvis. As you settle into your Shavasana, do a scan of your body from head to toe, not missing anything out. What areas still feel a little lost? What are the areas you take for granted, you just think can get on with it, or you don't think are important? You need to get those back into the system. Make a connection.
Start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Take your arms up above you, take a long breath in and point toes in the opposite direction. And then gently draw your knees towards your chest, hug them in tight. Extend your right arm up above you and gently roll onto your right side and pause here. Just feel for the breath moving spaciously through the side ribs. When we get the dosage right, we neither collapse and give up, nor do we force ourselves to press too far. There's an inner sense of satisfaction when we get the dosage right. It just feels good. So just get a sense of that balance, that using areas that are slightly underplayed more in order to allow areas which honestly overtake and overreact less. Very slowly press yourself up to seated. Bring your hands into prayer at the center of your chest. Rest for a time. You're only tasked to witness what it is to be alive. This breath, this streaming energy, this precious present moment. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.